Welcome back to the International Grand Finals for the Western Qualifiers. Mousesports are up 1-0 versus DD Dota. We're going to be going into Game 2 in just a moment. But before we come to you with Game 2, Bruno, we've asked people to send in some pictures about their pub stomps.
Yes.
But someone's gone one extra. What have we got?
I think we have some video feed from someone, a crazy Brit from London. And I want to say hello, Pyrian Flax.
Hello, can you hear me, Bruno?
We can hear you. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing great. Let me just do something. UK Dota!
Wow.
Come on, we've got a it's unbelievable. We've got a 10 for screen, 10 points, minutes, and it's unbelievable. It's going great. That's Game 1 very exciting. How you guys doing?
I wish I could understand what he said.
Yeah, well, sometimes you're breaking up, Pyrian, but we got the gist of it. Everything's going great. How's the crowd over there, Pyrian? How's the crowd?
Drunken and unruly, I would say, at best. No, it's going pretty well. No fights so far. Everyone happy to be here and just excited to be watching Dota 2 in a pub. It's like the two best things in the world. So, yeah, everything's going great.
Are you surprised the Mousesports took Game 1 so convincingly?
I was, but not after I saw the picks. I've got to say, I thought these picks were unusual. Everybody here was a lot of reaction. There's a Kappa Faces type of match in here. Yeah, we've got a sweet poster here, by the way. What's a poster? There we go, look at this. Shiny horse man is the best horse man. So I made that poster. Yeah, once we saw the pick stage, we were kind of like, well, this is a thing. So, but after that, I thought Mousesports played brilliantly and deserved it. We're looking forward to going to best of 5 because we're all bedded in here. Everyone's got somewhere to sit. Everyone's got a drink, ready to go best of 5.
Yeah, and I just want to get the crowd's reaction. Can you ask them who they think's going to win, Mousesports or DD Dota? Could you maybe see if you can get some reaction from them for either one of the teams?
All right, I will do. Hold on. Hey, hold on. Mousesports or DD?
That's
I heard the word. Right, shut up! I heard the word mouse there fairly conclusively, I'd say. Mousesports to win. I think it's the general consensus. I still fancy DD, but you know, I'm rank outsider in terms of predictions. So.
All right, yeah, it looks like Mousesports is going to win. So for anybody in London that, you know, is watching this live now, where should they go to join your pub stomp?
Don't come down with full. There's barely room to breathe in here, so yeah, it's going well. We're full. Do not approach the pub. Don't try to come down. Unless you sit out and have a drink, but you won't be coming to watch Dota 2. Wait, the barmaid's looking at me. Come on down. Spend a lot of money. Yeah.
All right then. Well,
I'm sorry, bartender. Sorry, I'm old.
Is the bartender being a bit of a bar steward, is he?
I said maid. It's not cool. It's bartender. I've ruined it. The cast is over. Everybody go home.
Call him a bar steward. It's fine. All right then, Pyrian. We'll leave you there with the London group. Hope everybody enjoys it. We should be finishing up before 11 with the best of 5. So if we're not, you're gonna. Yeah.
Can we do one more shout out for UK Dota? That was so much fun. One more. UK Dota! Number 1. There you go, number 1.
Yeah, and make sure that they know at 11 o'clock they're going to have to utilize the Delta split.
Yeah, no more Dota after 11.
Yeah, the Delta split to get out of the pub is how they're going to have to leave tonight, okay? Thank you, Pyrian.
Peace out.
Peace. All right, so there you have it. Pyrian Flax, a pub stomp in London. Wow, that looked packed. That looked really fun.
Really. And we have some reaction as well ourselves.
Yeah.
It's very nice. I mean, it looked crowded. I mean, it was just one shot, but everyone was there. They've been telling us there's no more space. That's how exciting Dota is in UK. I'm surprised that we don't have any UK teams yet. But hopefully this year.
UK Dota number 1, you?
UK Dota should come to the competitive scene.
All right then, so we're going to be getting ready to go into game number 2. Just going to change some cables over here and do the things that we do behind the scenes. Scriff looks confused, Andy looks confused, Trance is currently whispering. Yeah. But we're of course really excited to go into game 2. I think Mousesports, you know what wouldn't surprise me at all, is Mousesports take this 3-0. And I know that might for some people be a bit like saddening and it didn't go all 5 games, but for me me, it's like, that's exciting just because of how well they could play here today. But I'm pretty sure that DD have something up their sleeves in store for us, and they will be pulling back a game. But still, wouldn't be surprised if Mouse Sports
I'm
to go the whole
100%
way.
sure that DD will take one game. They've lost games so far in the tournament. They haven't lost a single match. Now they have to be prepared for this. And as I said, this group of people, they're super intelligent at drafting. They're super united as a team, and they have the best idea on how to face the game and know their rivals. So they took the first blood, yes, but there's game number 2 and 3, and we'll have to see what happens there.
All right, then. So we're just going to check over with Andy. Andy, how are we doing?
We are currently going to be in the game here in just a couple of minutes. There are a couple of things we've got to switch around really quick just to make sure all the stuff is cool, but we're going to be starting here in a minute or two.
All right. Well, damn. I wasn't expecting for this to happen.
No, it was like,
Let's go to Weppers. He's always good at talking.
Weppers,
No, I
entertain
can't
us,
talk.
please.
How am I supposed to entertain you? I'm like the worst person for that.
There's some alcohol upstairs, Weppers, in the in
Yeah,
our
I'm gonna
own private
drive later,
pub
so yeah,
stomp,
that's gonna work great together.
Lose yourself, Weppers.
Yes, on the
Just
road,
let your
somewhere
hair-
out
let your
between
ha-
Tyresö and Stockholm. You'll find me in a week or something.
Let your hair down, Weppers. Let your hair down. It's all good here. Game 2, what do you think DD have in store for us?
I think that DD might try and go for. They'll probably still go with unconventional picks, but they might just go for something that they practice a lot more. I mean, I haven't really seen them pick Racer in any of the scrims. It was a good idea, but it didn't really work out. So they might just try and go for something a bit more safe. But I still feel that they might just try and get a 3N if they can. But what I hope is just both teams keep on going full out. I mean, the first game was really exciting. Even if it was kind of a stomp and only a 24-minute game, we had over like 40 kills in that amount of time, and that's more than we have had in like any game so far in this tournament. So I just want both teams to go all out.
All right, well, yeah, they certainly will. And Andy, checking in on you. How are we looking?
The lobby's back up. We got everybody joining, so we should be good to go just about any second.
Yep.
And DD, I don't feel like it's only one game. They're not going to feel down and out whatsoever. And of course, the execution, as you guys mentioned, if that was the problem, that's something that happens to every best team once in a while.
Yeah.
Could happen more when there's a little bit more pressure on the line, but the fact is, if you picked smart, you laned smart, and you just didn't hit certain things or out of position at certain times, that's something that you know, like, we can go back into this and be able to come out on top. And I don't know if you can hear this, but upstairs people are chanting Mouse Sports. Everyone's backing the Germans today.
They really are.
It is.
It's really impressive.
You might even be able to hear them on our mics. But that, of course, upstairs. We'll get a feed of them later, our own private pub stomp. We've got Robert here from DreamHack.
DreamHack,
We've got
yeah.
Hellspawn, just in case any technical problems occur. We'll have Hellspawn just tell you stories from esports for a half an hour. It will feel like a lifetime, but it will just be half an hour tops that we're letting talk. We've got Grey Khan from DreamHack. We've got some people from the Good Studio chat turning up in force as well, representing. And, of course, Mingles is up there as well.
And
just-
I want
Treating
to...
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, and you were talking about the picks and how they have to do. And before we go into the game and as the players are getting started, I'm going to teach the players maybe how they have to pick. And for that, I will show them the tournament statistics so that you can see what worked and what didn't work so far. So far in the tournament, the top 3 players, we see Silent there from Team DD Dota, playing really well, not so much last game unfortunately, but that was all merit of Black Pass and Synderen, just making his life living hell because they were very dominant in the tri lane. We have BCC is perfect, of course, not playing anymore. They played absolutely well for Roxkeys until those last 4 games, which didn't work for her. And not surprisingly, we have Fancy from Mouseport, the other team in the final, also doing very well. But in terms of hero, let's not forget the Slark pick that worked so well in the first days. We also see the Lone Druid is one very, very effective pick. Maybe they should consider not letting that hero go through, or at least snatching themselves. And then we have Nova, the Luna, that just 6 games, not the best in the world, but 66% win rate puts her as the best of the carries. On the other thing, the things that you shouldn't pick, apparently, is Magnus. We talk about how Magnus is so weak. If he doesn't get the proper start, he needs the proper RPs. And Leshrak and Jakiro, 2 of the least favored supports in terms of win rates. We'll see what they have to do. Govlak, fucking mad, pay attention, take notes. Just pick from the winners, not from the losers.
All right, well, I'll see if he's going to do that. So, Andy, how are we currently looking?
We
with the
are
game?
actually inside the draft.
All
so we're
right,
good to
then.
go.
Well, we'll send it over to you. So this is going to be game number 2 between Mouse Sports and DD Dota. Best of luck to both competitors. Over to you, Andy and Weppers.
Mouse Sports coming in game number 1, ridiculously strong. It's now game 2. Mouse Sports, of course, they did get that game 1 victory. We could see the bans and picks so far go over really, really quickly, and Mouse had banned out the Wisp and the Bane, and it looks like DD. The fun has stopped. Phantom Lancer has come out. The Keeper of the Lights there with a Bat Rider. Mouse Sports, they got the Life Stealer, they got the Gyrocopter, so they got some carry potential themselves, but when DD picked Phantom Lancer, you know things are serious.
The good thing for Mouse with seeing the Phantom Lancer as well as the Keeper of the Light this early is that they can just go and pick up super aggressive heroes out of this.
Yeah.
And just like force the PO down. They can even go for something like a Storm here, straight away. It might be quite weak to have against the Bat Rider, of course, in mid, but DD hasn't used the Bat Rider mid. They used it either in the jungle or in the long lane, which means that Storm wouldn't be a bad pickup. Might even go for a Puck. So yeah, Puck is going to be the pickup, which means that Fata's going to be able to rotate out as soon as he hits level 6. And if he can keep the rotation going that he had last game, it's going to be amazing for him.
I think DD may have jumped the gun, and I think that's what you were kind of trying to indicate when you were talking about the aggressive supports coming out of Mouse, because all you see is a Gyrocopter and a Life Stealer. The Gyrocopter can 1 versus 1 against a lot of heroes and do exceptionally well, and there's only a Life Stealer right now and a mid, so the supports are pretty much going to be the only choices coming out from Mouse Sports in the last 2 picks. And DD, they need 1 more support, potentially an offlaner, however they want to try to do things. But for DD, are you looking to ban out the aggressive supports? We can already see Leshrac has been taken out. Do you maybe want to ban out the Shadow Demon? We know he's fantastic against Bat Rider and Phantom Lancer, but not only that, it gives you that potential to go for that super aggressive wipe.
The thing is for DD is that even if they ban out, say, 3 strong supports in terms of Leshrac, maybe go for the Shadow Demon like you mentioned, and Alina, you're still going to leave heroes like a Rubik in the pool, and with that you can go Gyrocopter support. And you still have a strong support combo with the Rubik Gyrocopter, and then you can go an aggressive tri-lane with the Life Stealer, and still look to something like Lone Druid for the safe lane, which means that they're still going to be super strong. So they're not locked down in terms of lane with the Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter can of course be support and a carry, and Life Stealer can be in the safe lane or in the long lane. Rubik's going to be banned out though, but that still leaves either a Leshrac or an Alina in the pool, so it could work out for them.
The 3 more bans coming the way of both teams here. DD looking at 1 more, Mouse looking at 2. We can see the Outworld device has been taken out because we actually, I think, talked about this during the pregame, just the potential for that hero to completely shut down somebody like a Puck because, well, intelligence heroes versus OD just don't function well. And you can see the supports on the side of DD right now. They don't really look like they're going to be moving, but since we don't know what Mouse Sports' game plan necessarily is, we haven't seen their supports, the Leshrac, the Rubik taken out, as you had previously mentioned. There's kind of the sense of Mouse Sports might not looking to be rotating much either, just because you want to consistently apply pressure to that Phantom Lancer of DD.
I think that Mouse Sports most likely going to try and look for the lineup they had yesterday against Roxkiss, where they went for Alina to go with the Life Stealer Gyrocopter tri-lane, and then get a Lone Druid for the safe lane, because Lone Druid for the safe lane wouldn't be bad here. It works well against the Bat Rider as well. I mean, the Bat Rider, of course, is going to be able to get a lot of harassment out, but Shadow Demon is going to be the last ban out, which means that Lena's still in the pool, and if they ban something like a Queen of Pain out here, you're almost kind of forced to use the Bat Rider in mid, because there are, of course, heroes like Magnus, but Puck still has the upper hand in that.
We could also see something like a Juggernaut. Teams just seem to love to put that hero mid nowadays, especially in this particular Western qualifier. But 1 more ban here for Mouse. What will it be? It looks like it's going to be the Magnus, a hero that I actually feel isn't that great against Puck in general, just because of how easy it is to exploit the Puck's mobility, especially before the blink. And DD, they were picking up a Chen.
They're just going to try and protect this Phantom Lancer as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like, they want to go late game with this. They're going to have the Shen and the Keeper of the Light. I mean, you can't have super good rotations. You're going to be able to pressure down maybe the tier 1, tier 2 towers just because you have the Shen, so you're getting the extra push potential. But their safe lane is going to be so weak. So if Mouse Sports goes for pretty much the exact same lineup they went for yesterday with Alina, Nike's Gyrocopter aggressive tri-lane, DD is just going to straight up lose that lane.
We'll see what the support pick's going to be. This is going to indicate a lot here for DD, depending on what this pick is going to come out to be. Normally, you might see something like an offlaner and a mid picked a little bit later. Sometimes it's a carry. But when you have nothing but 2 supports to choose from, then you're pretty much giving away your hand no matter what. So DD, they're going to get the last pick, which means they could try to change their situation a bit. Maybe they want to try to do something crazy like go aggressive. We don't see it often, but sometimes when you really want to avoid a bad situation for your PL, you have to make risky decisions. And it's going to be a Sand King for Mouse, so taking a little bit of a pick from the Southeast Asian scene and Chinese Dota as well.
From that, I feel that they're most likely still going to try and run something aggressive. Picking up the Sand King as a support, we're most likely going to see the Gyrocopter in the safe lane instead, and then run an aggressive trend lane with the Lifestealer. Might want to try and get some follow-up stun. But I really wonder what DD is going to try and pick up here. Something that would work well for them is, of course, the Queen of Pain, because you get some aggression out of it, but how strong will it actually be against the rest of Mousesport's lineup? The Queen of Pain will work well in mid, if you don't want to run the Batrider there, but how much will he add to the big teamfight engagements when Mouseport just scatters up where they have an Epicenter and a Dreamcoat?
My worry is that Mousesports pick a support who doesn't really... I don't want to say he doesn't do well in the laning phase, because in some matchups he does, and way back when Brood was popular, you used to see Sand King versus Brood, and you know how good he can be with levels and that quick blink and arcanes, but until that point, if you play him as a support, he doesn't really get the same kind of an impact as even somebody like a Keeper of the Light. He's often compared to heroes like Vengeful Spirit, who in the laning phase just don't really give you a whole lot. He's more of a roamer. And you're roaming with a hero who, at level 1, his stun range is 350. That's like nothing. It's so hard to get in range. And yeah, you talked about protection. DD, they're picking up a Clockwork.
They're just going to try and protect this Phantom Lancer as much as possible, push it to a 15-minute game, and then Peel's pretty much going to 1v5 the whole team. Shen is going to fall off. Doesn't really matter. They're going to win if they can get it that far or that long into the game, but Mousesport's most likely looking for another support here. Like you mentioned, Sand King's stun isn't that long, which means that you're going to have something either that is a follow-up, you have the open wounds, of course, or you're going to need some strong follow-up out of it. Like a Light Strike Array from Alina wouldn't be a bad choice, but they might want to try and go for something else, though.
Reserve time.
I'm puzzled by the Sand King. That's pretty much the only thing for me right now on the side of DD that I don't really feel fits. Everything else, pretty typical Mouse style. They get the Lifestealer, the Puck, the Gyrocopter. They have a mass amount of AoE, which is nice. And maybe that's the whole purpose behind the Sand King. Maybe they know that Hand of God and an early mech on the Chen, or even the Keeper of the Light, is going to offset a lot of damage, so they want to try to get just huge burst and try to take the 5-on-5 AoE fights before anything happens. But it's a risk to me. If it goes bad, a Sand King has an incredibly hard time recovering.
Yeah, Sand King he needs so many levels. He really needs to get first level 7 to get the max stun range, and then of course he needs the Epicenter as well. He kind of need level 11 to be able to put out enough damage, but I wanted to see something like the old Mousesports lineup where they actually ran Black on the Sand King and safe lane farming instead, but we're going to see Black picking up the Gyrocopter instead, but this still indicates an aggressive Trident to me since Koiko has picked up the Lifestealer. But since we're already talking about it, we can go through the lineups. And on the side of Mouse, we got Syndrome playing on the Lina, Koiko picking up that Lifestealer, Puck being handled by Fada as usual, Paz picking up the Sand King, and of course Black on that Gyrocopter.
And then on the side of DD, we're going to have Chen. Going to be played by Goblack Funzy. Going to be playing on that Clockwork. Batrider going to be played by Sakshka. Fucking Mad going to be playing on the Keeper of the Light. And of course that leaves Silent on his Phantom Lancer.
And Silent realizes this game that he can't be greedy like he was when they played yesterday. He's picked up a shield and he's been pulled some extra tangos just to be able to have the regen, and he knows that if he actually goes into the lane without the shield, he's just going to straight up die. So he's going to play it a bit safer, and not having that Quelling Bait will of course make it a tiny bit harder to the last hit, but with a Silent, or with a carry as skillful as Silent, that shouldn't really be a problem.
We saw Silence PL the other day, and it was pretty ridiculous. He was maintaining roughly about 10 CS a minute, I think, give or take, and he just overwhelmed Roxkiss, and it was a very interesting sight to behold, because that game there were a couple of interesting item choices, but it's not about that right now. It's about DD versus Mouse. It's about Mouse being one game up. If they can take game number 2, then DD are backed into a corner, and we know that DD is the team who a lot of people say they have these strategies that they can pull out. They have Goblack, obviously a brilliant drafter. They have Bucking Mad, and their strategies are innovative, and more often than not, they make a whole lot of sense. Sometimes, though, it feels to me like if they get anything taken away from them in the early game, they struggle so much to come back.
Yeah, they usually struggle a lot, and we saw that especially in the last game. Down in bottom lane, actually, Koiko Going for some creep pulling straight away just to force Silent to take some extra damage, but we mentioned it, he's got that shield already, so it looks like they just made the creeps push into their tower anyways. But I like the decision out of Goblak to move up into the enemy's jungle straight away, just because we've seen it pretty much every game that the enemy always wards up your jungle as much as possible. And if they only buy one set of wards, they're not going to have any rune wards or anything like that. So Goblak trying to farm away here, but Paz has made his way over.
This is the one thing about a Sand Kingdom. I mean, what is Paz really going to do, aside from chasing him around and looking at him funny? And Cinderin, he's made his way up here now as well. But, yeah, Goblak's going to be fine. Sure, it might be a little annoying that he's been forced out of the jungle. And the supports are looking for him, but I don't really think they're going to be able to get in range. They're going to try to kill the Dark Troll Summoner here. But he's got quite a bit of HP. Could be a little bit of golden experience that these two supports are going to be happy about. Actually, even net Cinderin to try to get far enough away. And it's got 18 health. Might just get denied by the mid. Or maybe the mid player himself will just try to kill it. And, yep, free kill for Fata. Nice for him to be able to pick off that bit of experience and gold. But this is interesting to me because they're actually leaving Qualifier down here. Like, they're not giving him any help. I would imagine sooner or later he's just going to go to the jungle instead because he's a hero who can actually do that, whereas Funzy, he's being played mid on that Clockwork, which we have not seen a whole lot of.
No, we haven't seen Clockwork mid a single time this game, or this tournament, I believe, but it works out quite well. I mean, you get a fast level 6, you can get bottle, even go for face boots once you're mid, since you're not going to be on the support role or the long lane, you're not going to be able to, or you're not going to have to pick up those arcane boots, so Fada using his orb to harass, as well as getting some last hits. Might have wanted to try to contest that room, but don't really want to risk it against Funzy, since he might have had the battery assault and that could have been really dangerous. But what I like with Mouse leaving Koikwa down in the long lane is that, we mentioned it in the last game, Lifestealer has a really good lane presence. And when you have two heroes that are quite weak, I mean, you can harass quite well with the Keeper of the Light and the Phantom Lancer, but you can't really stand up against a Lifestealer. Right. So he can stay solo down there, since Goldblack started off in the dire jungle.
That is actually a very good point. And we can see some de-warding being done here on the side of Mouse. They're trying to maintain some kind of jungle control. They might even be able to go on Silent here if they have a Sentry or anything. Silent actually running up, so he's going to dodge the vision of the Sentry for the moment. He's running off to the side here. Mouse looking to try to find him. Koikfa, he's picking out the woods. He's going to spot Silent again, but he doesn't have the open wounds. Not sure if they can even go on this as Burrow Strike's range at such a low level is very, very low. So no first blood on the board just yet. But you can see the Phantom Lancer, he's sitting at 13-2. It's not great. It's not horrible, but Fata is really the story, man. He's 22-3 in this middle lane.
Well, Fata's really dominating in this mid lane. He's been able to farm with his orb, of course. I believe he's bottle crowing as well, so always will be able to have that mana. But Funzy's been, since we saw him, he moved away to get the rune control instead. Even though the lane was a bit pushed, he still was focusing, at least in the start, more on rune control just to be able to deny it from Fata, since he knows that if Fata starts rotating, as soon as it's level 6, it's going to be a bad thing for DD.
And DD, they haven't really been able to utilize their Chen a whole lot either. Funzy's got an invisibility rune here. It's level 5. He's maxing out that flare. He's going to spot Pos in the middle lane. And we can even see Goblak is being chased out of the woods by just Black. I mean, it's a solo gyrocopter, and he's managing to get some semblance of rune control. And, well, now Miles definitely know that Funzy's invisible because he just took the double damage rune, so not the sneakiest Clockwork ever.
Oh, but he still managed to get it. And a misplay coming out of Koikwa down in the bottom lane that we actually missed on the camera, that he used open wounds on a creep instead of silent when they actually had him on the vision of the tower. So, bit of a misplay. Since Cinderin is down there, they should have enough, but they're going to go for fucking mad here.
Yeah, Stone's going to come out. Light Strike erase Silent. He wants to go for the return kill. First Blood's going to be going to Mouse. Can they actually pick off Cinder? And he's got the salve. Silent, he has no mana actually to go invisible again. He's still under the guise of the Sentry. Quakefuck trying to chase. No mana for open wounds, unfortunately. I think Silent will be just fine in the situation. But he is really relentless here. He just says, get out. Don't come back. This is my lane.
Yeah, he really wanted to force him down there. Fucking mad coming back in time, though. Being able to salve him up, but a really nice first blood kill coming the way of Mouse. And since Cinderin didn't break his salve, he's going to be able to stay in this lane, and he's still got 2 more nukes to throw out. So as soon as Koikwa gets open wounds again, as soon as he hits 110 mana, they can go once again for fucking Matt.
We'll see if that's going to be the choice. And Koikva, him not having mana is a problem, because if Lifestealer doesn't have mana, his lane presence goes down significantly, and you were mentioning a little bit before how important that would be. So for right now, Mouse, they maintain a kill lead, but you can look at the overall CS. The only person who's really doing well on the side of Mao's is actually Fata in terms of his lane, but 3 out of the top 5 right now on the side of DD in terms of overall farm.
A bit surprised to see that Black is suffering so much from this. I'm guessing that Goblax, with his presence up in top, most likely have forced him out, and of course if you get too many stackers on that sticky napalm on you, you kind of have to back out and just reset it, and that leaves so much room for Sakshia to farm up on that Batrider. So Black falling a bit behind, but Gyrocopter, if Synderen or Paz starts stacking the Ancients, he's going to catch up really fast.
That's always a nice thing about having a Gyrocopter. Funzi gonna get spotted by Fata. The coil's there, but Fata, he has like no mana. Looks like he was trying to find a rune. They actually don't have any vision right now, so that's probably why he expended the coil right there. But Funzi, very, very low on hit points. He's playing a bit greedy. He's trying to go for the rune, at least for the time being. He's got 2 charges on the wand, and if he goes for this, if Fata spots him, he could just end up dying. Yeah, he's got a ward though, so he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's going to take it easy, and I believe he actually hookshot away from Fata, expecting that he would go up on the high ground, so really nice for him. Fucking mad, trying to get...
Oh,
Synderen!
Synderen! He gets clipped by the Illuminate, and the Lance manages to take him down, so Silent. He actually gets a kill. He's actually he hasn't died either, which is very, very nice, and you mentioned the open wounds being missed, but still, DD, they're fighting here in game 2.
Yeah, fucking mad, getting a lot of good harassment out with this Illuminate, just forcing Koikwa back since he has to use either a Rage or an Open Wounds. I mean, you need the Open Wounds to initiate, but if you're forced to use Rage in lane, you're not going to have enough mana, especially now since he's already used it for a kill. So he's up to 156 mana, which isn't enough for both of them. So really nice there by DD to get a counter kill, and opens up a bit more room for Silent to farm, of course.
Yeah, Funzi and Sakshka, they're looking for a kill here in top lane. Clockwork level 7 now. He's got that hookshot ready if he wants to try to use it, but they're not going to be able to find Black. And Koikva, he still maintains a pretty high level of farm. He's actually starting to pull ahead of where even the Phantom Lancer is on the side of DD. He's got his phase boots. He's got the Overvenom. He's sitting at 450 gold. And Goblak has now made the transition to bottom lane with Fata, who has an invisibility. He should have enough to use all of his spells as long as he gets 1 battle charge off. He wants to go for Bucking Mad. Can Koikva get the damage done? He actually... the tree gets eaten right there. Coil going to be on Goblak. Can they manage to take him down right here? The Life Second Ray is going to be there. And Bucking Mad also goes down. It's a 2-for-1 as Silent. He managed to pick off Synderen in the back. The Infest is going to be there. And 2 supports down on the side of DD. Koikva picks up the kill. And Silent gets another kill. So he is now 2-0.
Yeah, Silent getting a kill out of it, but still a better trade for Maus. Fata getting down there with the Invis rune, killing off the Shen, forcing him back even more. I mean, Shen's level 4. He's been able to jungle in the offensive jungle. But it's still hard for him, this game, and getting killed twice, losing your creep again.
Here comes the call down. Can they take him out before the Firefly gets him too far away? It doesn't look like it. He's going to be able to skate off the edge of the map and pop the salve. So unfortunate right there for Miles that they couldn't manage to kill him. Black, he's level 7. He's still got his phase boots, so he's not doing too bad up here.
Yeah, he still managed to get some farm, but he's catching up now. He's ahead of the...
Silent bottom! Koikva, he gets the open wounds off center, and he wants to go for the Light Striker Ray. The Dragon's Life is going to be there. He might actually go down to Silent before he turns around with 1 more hit. Can Koikva pick off Silent? 1 more auto attack. He's going to be able to secure it. It's a killing spree for both heroes, but Koikva ends Silent's killing spree. So I gotta say, a support for a PL and the extra gold from a streak, Mal's happy with that.
A really nice trade, and of course... Koikwa ahead of the farm, and Silent being stopped to farm for quite some time now. He's only at 31 last hits, whereas Koikwa is, of course, 38, so it's not too far ahead, but it's still ahead, and of course he killed him off. So Maus is starting to pull ahead in this farm because Gyrocopter is caught up to the Batrider as well, whereas Batrider actually left the top lane. It looks like he might rotate up. He's about 900 gold away from his Blink Dagger, which is going to be really nice for him.
The Blink Dagger is going to be key because right now they have no initiation outside of Funzi. And Funzi has been trying to rotate around the map, but he hasn't really found his openings yet. So once that Batrider gets a blink, that's going to be great. Once Fata gets a blink on the side of Mouse, this is also going to help them. But Silent, it's a roaming PL here in the top lane. Paz, he throws out a Burrow Strike. The cooldown's going to be there. Black eats a Lance, going to be forced out for the time being. Paz still trying to chase, wants another Burrow Strike. The Lasso's going to be there. Hookshot, it's going to be on Black. They try to trap him with the Cog. Sakshka, he's going to be going down here, and 1 more auto attack from Fata. The Dream Coil was even expended. Can he get away? The Silence is going to be there. Fata dropping quite low. He gets the face shift, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Silent, he gets the kill. Posse's trying to TP out. Will he be able to? And he does barely escape. And Mouse, maybe one of the first exchanges this whole game, they've actually lost. Chenheal being used on bottom lane for Bucking Mad to try to allow him to escape from Quakefa, but the Orb of Venom into Phase Boot's just a little bit too strong. Goblak needs to be careful. Open Wound's going to be up in about 5 seconds. Luckily, it wasn't at that point in time, but just as we say that DD might have gotten a favorable exchange, Quakefa finds another kill.
Great move from Silent to just leave the lane early on, and this is one of the things that they did in yesterday's game as well. Even though the Silent got a lot more farm, he still started rotating as soon as he got his drums and Ayasha, just to be more active. He doesn't want to be the carry that sits for 50 minutes and doesn't do anything. He wants to be active and he wants to help out. And you can see that very clearly with the power treads pick up as well as a poor man's shield and now working his way towards the drum. Mouse are expecting them to go late game, whereas now Silent with the rotation, he's just going to try and dominate the mid game.
He's level 9 too, by the way, which is the same level as Funzy, who is mid, which is pretty crazy in terms of overall experience gain. But a lot of that, I think, is attributed to this has been more of a 2-1-2 game than a tri-lane or anything like that. Goblak's been wandering around in the zone. We've had the Lifestealer and Lina in bottom. So the supports are getting a lot more experience. The carries are getting a lot more experience. So we can see Quakefa's also level 9. But Lina having a Laguna Blade at less than 12 minutes into the game, that's pretty darn important for Mouse.
Yeah, if they can manage to find someone out, I mean, if Bucky Mad walks up too much in the lane, he's gonna pretty much instantly get killed. So it's really nice that the supports are actually catching up so much on farm, as we're actually gonna see an instant replay coming up.
We can see Sakshka. Poss is chasing him down right here. The call down is going to clip for just a second. The homing missile was there, and Poss really wants his kill. Fata even goes in. Funzy, he hook shots in the back. He finds Black, gets the cogs. The Dream Coil, I think, from Fata here may be a little bit of overkill. I think they would have gotten the kill regardless. And now Fata, he spends so much time in Firefly that he just simply can't escape. I mean, even his escape path is running along the fire. So Fata gets picked off. Poss, he starts a TP, nothing else up on the side of DD, and he gets away. But still perfectly happy with that trade, being able to get those heroes especially. I don't think they're going to be too torn up about not killing the Sand King.
No, they're probably quite happy about it. Even though the Bat Rider went down, he's getting a lot of farm. He's up to 1900 gold, which means that the Blink Dagger is soon going to be online. And then they can just pick up Koikwa down in bottom lane, kill him off really fast, or even rotate up to top. Since Silent, he's sitting up in top lane farming instead, and Black, since he's so far behind from the start, he's having a hard time to just keep up with the Phantom Lancer in the lane now.
The one thing, too, that we always have to worry about if you're Mouse is DD have all their towers still. I mean, sure, DD haven't taken any, but we talked about how the late game is going to favor them because of the PL, because of their initiation potential and whatnot. So it's kind of scary for Mouse that they haven't managed to make something happen. They're going to be going for Silent. Here comes the Burrow Strike. The Epi's going to be there. They have no qualms using every ultimate they have just to take down Phantom Lancer. Getting Silent off the map for even around 30 seconds is going to be great for them.
That's some serious hate, though.
Yeah,
I mean, an Epicenter and a Laguna Blade at like 150 HP. Ooh, that's gotta hurt, but it must still feel quite good for Silent because he knows that they can't gank him for at least a minute after he spawns, which is quite nice for him. He's gonna be able to farm up, maybe even TP up to the top lane once again because Mouse, they got some nice pushing potential, but the Flat Cannon, he has maxed it out, so they should be able to clear the next creep wave coming out, but I still don't feel that the damage won't be enough, or will be enough, to bring down this tier 1 tower up on top.
DD's just doing a fantastic job of kind of holding themselves steady, not giving away any map control. In the Keeper of the Light being able to get so much extra experience, like we talked about Lina managing to hit 6 fast, it definitely helped secure the kill on Silent top, but having the max rank of Illuminate and Chakra on your ultimate at a very early stage allows you to keep your outer 2 towers up for so much longer. And Sakshka, he's got his Blink Dagger here, he's smoked up. Fata actually has an invisibility, and he's going to be teleporting to top lane. So this could be huge, actually. Sakshka going in, he's looking for Black. He's going to find him, but Fata is there. They want to try to go for Silent instead. Black, he's lasted right now. Can he get the call down? The coil is going to go down along with the homing missile. Can they actually do enough damage? But the mech, the Chen Heal comes out, and Mouse, they teleport in Koikfa, but I don't think they have enough damage. They're trying to go for Bucking Mad. The blind actually misses completely coming out from Bucking Mad. Are they going to be able to take him down? The Flame Break to try to peel right there for the Lifestealer. It will succeed for the time being. Poss going to be forced to Burrow Strike up to the high ground, and he's actually stuck by a Centaur right now. He's going to have to run back through the neutral camp to get back into this fight. And Mouse, they're actually chasing down Silent, who's all by himself. Silent was looking for the kill. Black needs to be careful, though. There's going to be another Lance. Light Striker Ray comes off onto Funzy. Are they going to be able to take him down here? It looks like they will. The cogs come out, and Black, he ends up dropping. It might be a 2-for-0 exchange here for Silent at least. Can he actually get the kill? He's trying to run away. He throws off another Lance. The silence is there, and Fata takes him down. So again, Mouse, they only lose Black. Sakshka's trying to run away with the Firefly here. He doesn't actually have enough mana for his Blink Dagger, but Still, really awkward for Silent to go that heavy in. Here comes another burrow strike. Mouse, they're going to be able to get Sakshka as well. And they actually get a nice exchange, and the Illuminate clips on Pos in the back. And Bucking Mad, he manages to get himself a bit of extra gold. 7-10 right now at 15.5 minutes. And we were talking about the insane amount of aggression in game number 1. Not quite on the same level in game 2, but still pretty action-packed.
People are still fighting quite a bit, which is really nice to see. But that fight was so weird just because it was so long, and Silent was still on the enemy, behind enemy lines and just trying to do as much as possible. He managed to pick up Black, which is really nice, but Koikwa, he's getting so much out of this. He's been able to free farm down in bottom lane, and now surviving that fight and getting some kills. He's 6-0 with 68 last hits at 16 minutes. I mean, the last hit's falling behind a bit, but 6-0 on a lifestealer this far in the game. He's picked up his drums, almost finished off an armlet as well, so lifestealer is going to for sure be able to open up room for Black to farm.
Funzy going to be able to snipe the room right here from Fata. Fata actually uses the Waning Rift, and Funzy's currently on chase. He's got the battery assault. Going to force Fata to actually jump, and here comes the hook shot, but Koikva's there! He gets both of them inside. Here comes Sakshka from the low ground. The coil is going to stop the lasso for just enough time as Koikva, he picks up another kill. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Silent going to lance Black here on the high ground. That could have been a lot worse, actually, for DD. They do end up losing Funzy. And I think maybe he thought his support was going to be a tiny bit closer, but killing the mid for mid, I think Mouse is still going to be happy considering Koiko was the one to get the extra gold. Now he's got his armlet.
Koiko has finished off his Blink Dagger as well, or, I mean, Fata's finished off his Blink Dagger, and like you mentioned, Koiko getting the kill, so he's finished off his armlet, which means that he's going to be that much stronger, but the Blink Dagger on a puck means that it didn't really matter that he actually died. Dream Call, it's on a fairly short cooldown, only 85 seconds, and with the Blink Dagger, he's got enough initiation as it is, and Paz, finishing off Arcane Boots, is going to start working his way towards the Blink Dagger himself.
Mouse, they've got some scary initiation now. You got a Sand King to follow up with the coil. I think maybe this was their plan all along. Fata getting a pretty early Blink Dagger, it allows the Sand King to get in, and that's really the big deal. You have the call down to slow even after the coil, so there's plenty of time for him to find his Burrow Strike, and that's really what he needs. So I had my doubts about the Sand King pick during the draft phase because it didn't feel like it would really help in the laning too much. But at the same time, it hasn't necessarily had to do that because it's been a 2-1-2 for the most part. And of course, Sakshka was soloing top with Godblack kind of walking around. So the laning phase slightly favoring Mouse here in the early game. And of course, the fights have been too. We can look at the net worth. Lifestealer actually sitting at the highest, the guy who was pretty much abandoned by his team for some time, and he's 7-0. On top lane, they find Sakshka as well. Mouse just getting kills all over the place. Really, really nice movement once again. And bottom, they might be able to actually take out Black, as Silent is actually going to get picked off as well. That is... Silent just died to 2 supports. I mean, they used the Epi and a Laguna Blade, sure, but if you're in this case, why not?
You don't want to die, though, on hard carry against 2 supports in this situation. I mean, you could always joke around, you're on a PO, you should be able to kill them, but this early on, he's only got drums and power treads, which means that he's not going to have that insane illusion army coming up since he's not even level 11 yet, but Cogs in mid.
Funzy's trying to run away. The open woods are there. Koikva, he's dodging. He pops the drums. He really wants his kill. Cinder, and he lands the stun. Can Funzy actually get away from this? He's looking for a hook shot to try to get back to his team. Can he get it off? No, he can't. And Cinderin, he gets the kill, but middle lane. We can see DD still trying to look to push to Tier 1. Tier 1 in the meantime dies top in favor of Mouse, as we're going to see some reaction now. Silent actually teleporting up there. He's going to try to do some counter pushing and trying to chase away Black. Black going to try to TP. Looks like he will be able to get away.
Yeah, I just manages to get away there, but Black has finished off his BKB as well. So he's been able to get some farm, which means that he can be in the fights now, and he's going to be able to dish out quite a bit of damage, but... Oh, Fata in mid.
Godblack going to get coiled here, silenced up as well. His ultimate's actually on cooldown. They're going to be able to drop him, give another kill to Koik, but Sakta trying to find Cinder and not going to be successful, or going to miss from Fata. He wants to continue chasing. The Illuminate does a bit more damage to the side of Mouse. Here comes Funzy, gets the hook shot, and the Burrow Strike out from Paz. Actually, it's the Chen creeps as well. Koik, he wants to go back in. He's trying to find another kill. His Infest is actually down, but they're just going to kill the Chen army. No deaths right now on the side of Mouse. Bucking Mad might have overextended a bit. Here comes Paz. He's stuck between the 2 members of Mouse, and he goes down. The cogs from Funzy in defensive posturing, trying to run away. Mouse looking to push the Tier 1, and they will get it.
And Mouse really playing super aggressive in this game, and it's really showing up that they got the stronger lineup in the mid game, and we can probably hear the pops from upstairs. They're really cheering on for Mouse Burst here, and Koikwa is 9-0-2. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got like just as fast or almost as fast as Fata was got like last game. So this is really going in the favor of Mal Sports once again. But if DD can open up enough room for Silent to farm up, they could probably still turn it.
Well, that's the question. Can they farm up? Can they get enough items on Silent especially? Can they actually take fights? Because this Sand King, his net worth is higher than the mid right now of DD. He's almost got a Blink Dagger. He's level 11 on the support Sand King at 20 minutes in. And those are the kind of supports where levels matter almost more than the farm. So for me, this is like an ideal situation for Mouse. They have a mass amount of AoE with that level 2 Epi, the level 2 Call Down, Infest, Lina's Light Strike Array, the Dragon Slave, Coil, Waning Rift, everything. Just every spell in the game. AoE.
The best part for Mouse is that they can fight 4-on-5, which means that Black can just keep on farming away on top lane. Like I mentioned, he's finished off the BKB, which means that he can just stay in these fights for so long. Fata's gonna eat a lance, but actually didn't manage to dodge the damage. Still, it looks like they might want to try and go for Synderen here.
The hook shot going in. Funzy, he's going to find Lina. Can they get the damage off? He just throws out the Guna Blade to try to do whatever he can. The stun's going to hit as well. But Synderen, he goes down. DD, they're here as 5. They want to try to pressure the tower. Sand King not going to be at the fight just yet, so Post unable to react to this aggression. And that might be the start of the turnaround that DD were looking for. They might be able to take this tier 1 tower. Sand King in the meantime, he gets his blink, he's sending it to himself. This could take them by surprise. If DD don't know that Sand King has a blink, hookshot's down for 40 seconds. They're going to have to scout it out with a rocket. They're still continuing the siege. Illuminate, going to eat the creep wave. And Post looking for a potential opportunity to go for that Epi. The open woods is going to be there. Is he going to channel it? He's waiting. Looks like he doesn't want to go just yet. Maybe just hold on to the tower as long as you can. Blink forward coming out of Fata, but he gets lassoed by Sakshka. The lance is going to be there. He ends up dropping. It's too far away. Post, he can't get the Epi off. He has to aggressively blink forward instead. They're trying to find Goblak right now. The Illuminate's going to do quite a bit of damage to Synderen in the back, who's also running through a Firefly, but Goblak goes down. It's beyond Godlike right there for Koikva, as Synderen also goes down to Silent in the back. Fata, he buys back. He wants more. He's trying to find anything that he can. Post, he's got the blink. He finds Sakshka. Here comes the Epi. He's going to be able to get the kill for sure. The flare and the flame break almost take down Post, but not quite. Funzy trying to teleport out. Way too much damage coming out. It's a triple kill for Koikva, and they take down more than half of DD.
And they're going for Roshan straight away out of this, and it's just such great play out of Mouse. A bit of an overextension when they actually went for that fight, since Post was actually sitting down by the Ancients, seeing if he can get the initiation from there, but Fata going so aggressively, getting lassoed, but in the end it worked out. They got 3 kills, or maybe even 4 kills, but still a really nice exchange for them.
And Desolator on Koikva as well. We got the double blinks on Fata, the Sand King. The damage output of Mouse is just flat out scary. And really nobody is safe because, as we mentioned before, everyone has a tremendous amount of AoE. It's not even like they can just focus one person down with the Lina. They can focus anybody in an area, basically. It's Silent. He might be dropping your top lane. Post, he's looking for another stun. The dust is used. Can they chase him down? They're trying to stop it. Blink forward coming out of Post. He's got another Burrow Strike, and they're going to find the kill. So, Silent getting picked off again. We saw this aggressive farming style from him the other day, and this time, Mouse are able to punish it.
Yeah, double dust actually coming out there, but still, the farm on these supports, and the levels especially, there's still level 2 Laguna Blade up on Synderen on that Lina.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of burst, especially when you have the setup from the Dream Call as well as an Epicenter. This is looking so good for them, as we actually see Fata getting a kill on Black here when he tries to get some more creeps going in the jungle, so...
Oh, Mouse want to
Black
fight
going in
this.
mid.
They really want to fight this. Black actually pops a BKB. He's man-moding it by himself. Almost takes down Buckingman and Sakshka by himself. Here comes Fata. Both of them are going to go down. 4 members on the side of DD still going down as well. Here comes the Blink Burrow Strike in onto Funzy. It's going to be a triple kill for Fata. Everyone on the side of DD wiped off the map. It's 11-25. And Mao's momentum, we talked about it. We said if they come in strong, they take the first game, they could take a very quick game too.
Yeah, the momentum they carried through from the first game has just been so good for them. I mean, they're going to go for tier 3 push here, and DD doesn't really have anything to stop it. Blink forward.
Silence the side of the base. Are they going to be able to actually send it back in time? The Laguna Blade seals the deal. Goblak, he's stuck under the coil. He's trying to run around as best he can, but he's not going to be able to get away from Koikva. He's going to rage, run back past the tier 3 of DD and start to retreat. There's actually Sakshka now alive. Fata comes in with the silence. He wants to stop the aggression coming out from that Batrider and will do so for the time being. But DD, they want to chase. They have to punish this somehow. The cooldown's going to be there. It slows down Silent and Sakshka quite a bit. I don't think they're actually going to be able to get a kill unless Bucking Mad can find a mana leak. And he's really looking for it right now. But yeah, he's not going to get close enough.
The question is, though, will they be able to get this tower down? No, Mouse is going to deny it.
Hookshot in from Funzy onto Cinder, and it might have been a little bit over aggressiveness, but Funzy, he's going to be able to fall back. Everyone on the side of Mouse, not really full health, not really full mana either, but you can see how bad DD, they want to pick the fights when they know they can win, but Mouse just aren't giving them the opportunities.
I mean, Mouse are just playing so well. Didn't we see this in Game 2 when DD actually played against Roxkiss? Where Roxkiss had the upper hand and DD just, they try and force it so much where it doesn't actually happen for them. I mean, they don't have the aggressive lineup. They need to kind of react to what Mouse actually does, and they just try too hard to force it.
We got the replay of this mid-fight right now, and you can see Bucking Mad, he is just submitted to the fact that he's going to go down. Auto attack from Black, manages to kill him. Pass, he goes in with Fata. Fata already picking up a double kill right here. You can see 3 members down on the side of DD. The Burrow Strike in, the Blink, going out onto Funzy, and Fata with the kill steal right there, using the Waning Rift to get the triple. But Silent was even dead when they were in middle lane, so I'm not really sure what DD were thinking per se when they were trying to push like that. But they get engaged down in a 4v5. They lose a pretty important fight, and in the late game, maybe they can start to come back. But just look at the net worths, man. This PL, he is just not farming enough.
He's falling behind too much, especially when you have 2 really strong carries on the side of Mouse. I mean, DD's relying on this PL to do everything, whereas Mouse have a lifestealer as well as a gyrocopter. The gyrocopter were behind from the start, but he's got a BKB and a lifesteal, and of course the Aegis, and this lifestealer is just so damn farmed. He got 2.5k gold with a Desolator, Armament, and Drums. I mean, he's so farmed.
Scary moment now for DD. Here come Mouse. Hookshot's going to be there. They're going to be able to catch Black. Here comes the lasso. They're going for Fata, but a nice triple Burrow Strike coming out from Paz. The Epi's there with the call down. 2 members, and actually 3 with a buyback coming out of Sakshka. Make that 4 as Koikva picks up a double kill. The damage output in the AoE radius on the side of Mouse is so ridiculous that they actually lost 4 heroes in about the course of 2 seconds. Sakshka's back in the fight, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to stop this all on his own. The gem is actually sitting on the ground as Sinner, and I believe just walked around to pick it up. And at tier 3, it's under pressure right now. DD are in very serious danger of getting Raxed here soon in game number 2.
Yeah, and Black expends his Aegis there, and these fights are just going the way of Mouse, and DD doesn't really have anything to be able to follow up or counteract the damage coming out of Mouse. I mean, you got a Hand of God and you got a Mechanism, but if the Shen dies instantly, nothing's going to get used.
And we can see 4,100 gold saved up on that Lifestealer, by the way. That is scary. The amount of farm that he has right now, the Desolator, the Armlet, he's 15-0. 15-0. And this was a hero who was left alone for probably a good, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes in his lane. And we talked about how the supports couldn't pressure him a lot, but still, I mean, everyone on the side of Mouse is so farmed. This is level 15 Sand King at 28 minutes. He's going to have level 3 Epi soon. He's got a Blink. He's probably going for the BKB because he has the Ogre Club. Cinderin is even level 13, and on Alina as a support at this point in the game, that's just impressive.
He's going for a Mechanism on Lina as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see that often, but since he's got so much farm, he can actually go for it. He needs about 600 more gold, and he's going to be able to finish that Mechanism off, and that's going to be really good for them in the fights, because even though they're winning the fights, they still come out kind of low on HP after that, especially Koikwa, since he's pretty much diving the tier 4 towers. So it's not surprising that he gets low, but having the Mechanism means that they never really have to go back again.
A gem has been given back to Fata, by the way, as he picks up a double damage here. And I totally agree about the mech choice, especially like Keeper of the Light is so annoying when you don't have a mech or you don't have a pipe and you can just try to counter the wave as hard as you can. Fata showing himself here in bottom lane, taking a pretty good chunk of damage from Silence Illusion Army, but they will be able to burst at least a couple of them down. And PL, this is one of the situations where he struggles the most. Not only has he been held down in terms of overall farm, but he's not really able to do a whole lot in terms of AoE either. So now we're going to watch this fight again here middle. And we can see Sakshi goes for the lasso. He finds Fata, but the immediate triple burrow strike coming out from Paz to stop the aggression from coming out. Fata will die before he coils, but by this time, there's already 3 people dead. Sakshka buys back, and at this stage, Goblak dies in basically 3 hits, and that was pretty much the end of the fight, more or less. So, Tier 2 tower, seemingly the next target here out of Mouse. We can actually even see the pennants in game. They get over 6,000 right now. You could definitely tell there's some Mouse fans watching here.
Yeah, and what can DD do to defend this tower? They use the Firefly now already, which means that it's only the Ursa Warriors that are, or Hellbear Smashers that's going to be able to do something. But with the Desolator, they're going to be able to bring this tower down really fast, as we see Koiko actually going for Assault Cuirass, and he's going to finish that off right now. So the pushing power is so damn strong for them.
Fata actually being forced back here. A little bit of a bummer. They don't, unfortunately, have a Keeper of the Light like DD do to just pull people across the map. And Silent, I just want to talk about him for a second, because this guy has pretty much never been on his side of the map the whole game. Even in the team fights, he's running more towards Mause's base than he is his. He wants to find the solo kills. He wants to try to find any semblance of farm. And don't get me wrong, he kind of has to in this position, because you're not going to find much control in your jungle, especially when Mouse have it warded. But it just goes to show how hard of a time DD are actually having here.
He's going to have 3.6k gold now, which means that he should be able to finish off his Diffusal Blade if he wants to go for that, but he needs more items than just a Diffusal Blade. He needs to finish off the Heart as well, and against Mouse right now, he kind of needs a Butterfly as well, because he's going to just get mauled down by this Lifestealer.
He needs a lot, and I think that's pretty much been the story. They're going to be able to find Cinder, and going to be an easy turnaround kill here for DD. And killing Cinder, and yeah, he's not the highest value kill, but anything at this point DD are going to be more than happy with.
Mouse probably just backing out to make sure that the next Roche is going to go their way as well. Black's working his way towards the Butterfly, which is going to be really good for him, just to be able to dodge out the majority of the damage coming out of DD. Since Silent is their main damage source, if he has a Butterfly and a BKB, he can't really be touched. I mean, you can lasso him, of course, but other than that, there's not much they have.
Things get scarier here in game number 2 for DD, and if Mouse win this, you got to be really panicking if you're DD, because you have one chance to come back, and you have to win 3 games back-to-back. Against any high-caliber team, winning 3 games in a row is very difficult to do. I mean, there's no question about that. But when you have to come back from an 0-2 to win 3 games, that's got to be even harder.
I mean, the pressure is really high for them. Even though they've already managed to qualify for Seattle, you still don't want to be in the spot where you're in the wild card, just because you don't want to go up against the Eastern Goblak just dying instantly down in bottom. Koikwa clearing up the creeps as well, and they're just getting some really nice pick-off kills. They're going to be able to get this Tier 2 tower. Silent buying a Diffusal Blade straight up. He's going to upgrade it as well, just to be able to get the extra damage output. But
that means no buyback.
I don't think it's going to be enough either. Yeah. Even if you had a buyback, probably wouldn't be enough.
We'll see if Mao's going to apply enough pressure. They might just turn around. Roshan's going to be up very soon, actually up right now. So just respawn. See if DD can maybe try to contend it. I honestly would say no, just because Mao's have one of the best team fight compositions in an enclosed space that you're ever going to find, ever. So Mao's, they're grouped up here. Player's going to be able to scout out Roshan. Now being attempted here on the side of Mouse Forts, and they have a tremendous amount of minus armor. They have the Desolator, they have the AC, so it's going to be dying extremely fast. And I imagine they're probably going to be giving it to Black here. I don't think they can even kill Koikva. Yeah, Black's going to go ahead and pick it up. And he's got the Butterfly done now. So Butterfly, BKB, Helm of the Dominator, phase. His start wasn't fantastic, but he is starting to get a little bit out of control now, as we also see Cinderin finish up his mech.
Mouse got one really hard to kill hero in Fada, and then they got 2 immortal heroes at this point. I mean, the Lifestealer, there's no way they're going to be able to bring him down unless the PO gets him, or they get a lasso, pull him towards the Tier 4 towers, and the PO can just hit him with all these solutions. But other than that, Koikwa's not going to go down, and Black finishing off that Butterfly with the Aegis as well. There's no way those 2 heroes are going to go down in a big team fight engagement.
2 TPs top here to defend the very large creep push, actually, that Silent had been mounting. Now Fata, when he gets that Hex, life just gets even harder. And Mal's, they're still sitting in their jungle, so they're not really utilizing the map maybe as well as they could be, considering they just got Roshan. I feel for them, the next step should logically be, okay, let's take over DD's jungle. Let's force them inside of the base. We already know we got mid. So we can do something like put Fata in the top lane to push, even in a 4 versus 5. I'm not sure if DD could feel super confident taking a fight with how farmed the Lifestealer is, and just having the blink on the Sand King, Black as well with an Aegis. What did DD really do from this point on?
They need to farm up and pretty much split push, because they got to keep up the light, of course, and the PO, which means that their split push is going to be really strong. But with the farm that Paz and Sunren got, we see Paz here. He's TP'd down to bottom lane, and he's got the epicenter with Koikwa inside of him, which means that they should be able to kill off Silent here.
They got a gem. They're going to find him. He wants to find the Epi. Silent taking so much damage. I don't even think they needed the Epi for that kill.
No.
He just did so much in so little time. The damage output of Koikva is insane right now.
Yeah, and even though they're just 3 heroes up in top lane, DD lost their main damage source, and Black is doing enough damage to be able to bring this tower down, which means that DD shouldn't really be able to fight up in this top lane.
Tier 2 tower, the next target. Top lane here for Mouse. And DD are trying to defend it as long as they can. They got the cogs down, but like we were talking about, being able to defend in this situation will be a godsend for DD. Delaying the game is pretty much their only option, and honestly, delaying the game when you're so far behind, it's going to take, I think, nothing short of a miracle for DD to actually turn this around.
Mid lane is pushing in, which means that they're forced to go there and defend it, and that's going to leave the tier 2 to be able to be taken by Mouse without any contention. So they can just move into the base now as well. They got pushed on every lane, and with Silent being dead, he can't counter push and split push, which means that they can just go in and kill the base without any problems.
We'll see if they're going to manage to do so. Eliminate, taking away the creep wave, so that's a little bit frustrating if you're on the side of Mouse, and they don't have a pipe or anything, so it's going to take a while to crack it, but I think if they honestly just forced it, there would be very little that DD could do. There's 4,300 gold on Quagga again. He's unreasonably farmed. Like, it's not fair how much money he has.
Yeah,
Oh, they're just going to go in straight away on a Funzy double coil. They're going to catch Goblak as well. They want to get the lasso on a Quagga. Here comes Paz. He gets a double burrow strike. Goblak going to be going down along with Keeper of the Light. There's just way too much damage coming out from the side of Mouse. They take 2 quick kills. They're going to turn their attentions to the tier 3 in the top lane. Batrider, basically no health, being forced to retreat. Funzy, he still got hook shot, but he had to pop the Ghost Scepter, but they call the GG, and Mouse, they're 2-0 up in the specified here at the TI3 Western Qualifiers. Unbelievable game number 1 and game number 2 performances out of them.
Miles is just playing perfectly. I mean, the rotations that came out early on, they knew that Koikwa wouldn't really have any problems whatsoever down in the bottom lane, just because Keeper of the Light and Phantom Lancer, you saw Synderen actually died to it, but other than that, they don't really have any kill potential on the Lifestealer, so Paz rotated up, started pulling, got so many levels up, and I don't know, Miles just playing a perfect game.
It feels like if they played this way the entire tournament, they just would have went straight through the top,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Not a
would have
single
dropped
loss.
to a single team, maybe not even a single game, but as Synderen said in the past, this is a team who performs when it counts. This is a team who is very momentum-based, but when they get it, they are absolutely terrifying. So once again, congratulations to Miles for taking a Game 2 victory. We could still see DD come back, but it's going to be a long road if they want to get themselves back into the game. And we're joined once again by James and Bruno here in the studio. Miles are really scary looking today.
Yeah, they are. But if DD need to come back, they need to take a break. They need to go get some fresh air, just step away from the PCs and reset themselves, because just losing that 2-0 is really tough. And I kind of want to talk about the draft and how the game played out.
Did you watch this game?
Yeah, cat was fed. But the whole lineup of DD, it's very scary if the early to mid game goes in their favor, just because that's where the Batrider and Clockwork initiation is a huge deal. But if Mouse Sports get the advantage, and it's mainly been because this guy, Fata, just so awesome on his puck when it comes to any kind of mid-game rotation. He's just devastating. Everywhere he goes, he makes something happen. The fact is, you shut this team down, and then the whole game relies only on these 4 heroes playing around trying to get this guy farm. So your Clockwork and your Batrider, essentially, they're not as, threatening, because you're not really looking for that initiation team fight. You're like, we need to get this guy farm. And this was quite greedy, but the only thing I liked about this in terms of team fights is, normally you'd see Keeper of the Light get mech, but you'd expect Chen to finish a mech, and also, he has his hand of God, and that allowed him to get a pipe.
Yes.
on Keeper of the Light, but it was so late. And a pipe was a really good choice. So item-wise, I felt everything was going fine in terms of they had a really good thought process. But man, this old school duo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's so good against the PL. Because, well, okay, when you got a Blink Dagger, it's unbelievably good. But even though it's so good with PL, the stun damage coming out from both, and then the Laguna Blade to finish, a PL until he's finished a heart, and he has to finish a heart to basically survive that. And you saw Cinderin and Paz actually pick up kills on the PL mid-game by themselves. And it was such a nice pick overall by Mouse Sports.
Yeah, I want to add one more thing before we get Bruno's opinion, so I'm sorry. I'm taking your airtime, Bruno, but the important thing for me here is not only the duo that you mentioned, which was really strong, but it seemed like the intention of the picks in general for Mouse Sports was to force Goblack around the map, was to prevent him from getting the start that he wanted, because even if he goes to his own jungle, he sees it's warded, what else is he going to do? So, in a sense, they forced it so the Lina and the Sand King got more experience than normal. In a normal tri-lane situation, you see a Sand King is going to be underleveled, he's really not that good until he gets 7 at least, and obviously you want the Blink. So, they actually gave their supports a tremendous amount of experience and gold just by not being together all the time. Sure, later on, once they got their core items, they were able to. But for me, it's more Cinderin hitting 6 at like 10.5 minutes in. That's like almost unheard of on a support. Well, maybe not unheard of, but on a Lina at least.
On
Cinderin.
Cinderin.
Yeah, maybe.
No. He's been playing great. But Bruno?
Yeah, I've never been so happy of seeing cables, but that's something that we'll talk about later. The thing about this PL and against a Lifestealer, and I'm losing my mic, a Lifestealer and the Gyrocopter, I showed during the game that there's a 10 and 3 favor for the Lifestealer Gyrocopter combo, and it's not because it's a hard counter, but rather because you have to commit to stop these two heroes, Lifestealer and Gyrocopter, individually, two really strong mid-game to late-game carries, but as opposed to the Phantom Lancer, they both can get pretty scary at the beginning of the game. And a Bad Rider is actually a good matchup, but with the safe lane in your favor, knowing that you will always be safe next to your tower, you just play safe. If you push the lane, you just go get some neutral creeps. Remember, Gyrocopter can stack and then kill with Flag Cannon as well. Going for them. And that tri-lane, not facing the tri-lane, actually facing just a PL and a Keeper of the Light. The Chen couldn't be here. He had to rotate, as you well mentioned, had to go top. Suddenly, these three heroes control the lane at all. Like, there's nothing a Phantom Lancer and a Keeper of the Light can do until at least the Phantom Lancer is level 7. So, getting what they wanted on the Lifestealer, getting pretty much more or less what they wanted on the Gyrocopter. When the game started to get very intensive right here, Bad Rider had to rotate. Clockwork needed to make something happen. Okay, the Lifestealer is not getting as much, but the Gyrocopter is getting everything he wants now. And that's pretty much the story of the game. You can't stop both with these picks and protect the Phantom Lancer at the same time.
Yeah, the Phantom Lancer had it really tough. So congratulations to Mouse Sports. They're going to go up 2-0. And as I mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if they come in today and take a 3-0, just in terms of a lot of confidence from yesterday. They've beaten a lot of top teams, and I felt that they maybe came in with more motivation, which is surprising, but just like we want to take DD down. We want to win this. We were the team that were in the lower bracket, and we're back here. So, as I mentioned, I hope DD have taken a little bit of time, stepped away from their PCs, got some fresh air, and come in and just, those 2 games, leave them behind, reset as a team, and come back in and go into where they were in the upper bracket stages in the playoffs and also the group, because I don't know if they haven't delivered or Mouse Sports are playing so well, but they can do it DD, but I'm almost leaning to a 3-0 Mouse Sports, and I think we're ready to skip away for a moment, and then we'll get game 3 back with you in just a moment. So you want to do the outro?
Well, this has been the second game of the Western Qualifiers final. It's Mouseport leading 2-0 versus DD. Will they be able to get it 3-0 and just go invited straight to TI3? Will they have to wait a little bit more? Will DD be able to win 3 games in a row and take Mousesports to that dreaded wildcard game? We'll see it in a bit.